lifestyle is amazing. You know, the living is very cheap. Your rent is going to be under $300 a month, and you'll be living in a very nice furnished apartment if you want to, with cleaners, and you know the living is amazing. Food and drink is incredibly cheap. You shouldn't really have that much outgoings. I think, you know, I have a bike which I bought for about 80 quid.
80 quid? Oh my God.
80 quid. And, you know, you might have like a pop tyre, but you can fix it for like £2.
It's not like the stress that you have of having a car at home and worrying about the MOT and
exactly.
thinking about stuff like that.
But
it's good to live in the Ho Chi Minh City. For me, the weather, a lot of sun. You can get suns all day long, and then we are kind of like very many young people, young population, so we're very active and then friendly. And then you will never get bored here. So many things going on the street there, and food is amazing. You can find all kind of cuisine like everywhere, and Vietnamese food. Wonderful.
Yes. Oh my God, thank you.
So the Vietnamese children, on the whole, are incredibly well behaved.
Okay.
So thinking of like children back in the UK, you'd have a lot more difficulty, a lot more like classroom management. Here you have always a teaching assistant in your class. So like if there is like a loss of control, often they'll get out the cane,
Really?
smash the table, say something really loud in Vietnamese, and then you have their attention again. But I mean, every teacher's different. I think, you know, some people are very like strict on, okay, classroom management, I want perfection. But I think, you know, it's better to just lead your class with you being interesting, and then they'll all follow you.
Yeah, and I mean, being yourself, you can't be someone that you're not.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I find teaching's a bit like acting. Like you have your stage,
And you perform.
and I've got no AC in my thing, so at the end of each lesson, I'm just wet through my shirt. And there's a lot of like running up and down. And if you're teaching in a public school, you've got 45 kids in your class, so making sure that everyone's attention is like, it can be quite tiring.
It's hard, yeah.
It is hard, and it takes the average teaching week is 20 hours a week. That could be considered full time, but like that does take it out of you, because there's like lesson planning, there's getting to and from school, and then the lesson itself can often be very intense. But the children are really well behaved, and you know,
50 of them in a class can be a bit hectic.
50.
But
Okay,
you
there's
learn
big
to love them, and
classrooms.
you learn to deal with them.
Yeah, sure. Can you
Just have fun. At the end of the day, like,
Yeah.
if you're stressed, they're stressed. Just have fun with them. They're not there to, you know, be really studious and really concentrate. They're there to learn English in a fun way.
Yeah.
So just do it like that.
start with the weather. Being British, it's always a hot topic.
Yes.
So Ho Chi Minh has 2 seasons: hot season and hot rainy season.
Okay.
So it's always hot.
Like this? Like
like this. So at the moment, this is like the hottest it's going to get.
Okay,
It's like 33, 34 every day.
Yeah.
But the rainy season's about to start.
Okay.
So kind of mid to end of May. It then rains until like beginning of November.
Cons, it can get ridiculously hot in the classroom. Sometimes you don't have aircon, so it's 32 degrees and you're sweating a lot.
Is the weather something you ever get used to, do you think?
I definitely haven't.
Yeah.
Because it's either really, really overly hot or it's pouring down with rain.
Yeah.
You know, you got to get to class, and sometimes it might be flooded up to your waist in some areas, like really bad flooding. Or you could be wading through in your teacher's clothes. You know, in the rainy season, I spoke to some teachers, and they say you go in your flip-flops and swimming trunks to class with a waterproof backpack with all your teaching stuff inside your bag. Make sure it's dry.
Just like you're going swimming.
Yeah, literally like you're going swimming. Arrive at class, like got to give yourself so much extra time, and then get changed at school. So you know, when the rainy season's kicking off and you're commuting to work, you've got to really factor in the rain.
Yeah.
So Vietnam is probably one of the safest places I've ever been to. So, you know, I've spent a lot of time in Sweden, which I considered one of the safest countries in the world.
Yeah.
But I don't feel, I mean, as a man who's very tall, I feel incredibly safe. And all the girls I speak to, you know, they can be walking around at 12 at night and they say they never feel intimidated or scared.
That's good because we're such obvious foreigners.
Yeah, we are. We stick out.
Yeah.
And it's nice to know that you can walk around a city and feel very safe here. And I think, you know, where teachers are living are kind of more affluent areas. I think, you know, if you're in some far out districts, you might kind of encounter more hostility potentially. But on the whole, like, I haven't met or seen any like super dodgy characters. So it's kind of very settling to know. But on the other hand, there is obviously petty crime. I know a lot of people, if you're standing on the side of the road with your phone, motorbike will come by, grab it. Yeah, so I know about 5 people who have lost their phones like that. But that's just like, you know, 101.
Yeah, and you just learn.
You learn
And never do it again.
Yeah, exactly. If you're travelling, look after your possessions.
Yeah.
But yeah, on the whole, it's very safe, which I think people enjoy.
I rent a motorbike for about £30 a month.
Okay.
It's a lot cheaper if you buy it outright, but I'm just lazy.
Yeah.
It can be a bit scary. I've never driven a motorbike before I got here, and in the first week I fell off 3 times, and then touch wood, I haven't fallen off since. You just gotta get on it. If you fall off, I'm on it straight away.
The transport system in Saigon and Hanoi isn't very good. So like, I mean,
I
there
mean,
are
what is
buses.
there?
There are buses. That's kind of all grab bikes. Do buy their own bikes, and it's just so freeing. You know, like you're driving around. It's like you see a coffee shop, roll onto the sidewalk, dump my bike, walk into the coffee shop, and that's it. There's no like parking. There's no like really anal procedures. Whereas
Things
like,
that take forever at
yeah,
home.
exactly.
Yeah.
Back home, you spend so much time like parking, and anyway, like that doesn't exist here. On the other hand, the most dangerous thing in the city is driving a bike. You've got to be really careful. Thousands of people die a year on the roads, and if you just got to take it very easy. Like that is where you're gonna encounter problems or like really hurt yourself.
Sure.
I know.
It's very easy because obviously Vietnam is huge. So you go up to the north, Hanoi, Halong Bay, Sapa, unbelievable, incredible places. And a lot of people will rent a bike and just bike down, which I think, the best way to see Vietnam is on a bike, 100%. Scrap the buses, get a bike.
Travel is another thing. I think, you know, if you're a teacher moving to a country, you also want to have a good time. And Vietnam has got a lot of diversity. There's so many places you can go to at a very cheap price. You can get internal return flights for like $50 US. So you can go to Hoi An, you can go to Hanoi, and it's just, you know, they're very different landscapes. So you can kind of go to mountainous areas like Dalat, where it's much cooler climate, kind of French colonial town, which is really nice. Or you can go to like a really nice beach resort.
Have you been able to? Sorry to interrupt. Have you been able to travel much since you've been here?
I had 2 friends come out from the UK, and I travelled with them for 2 weeks. We kind of like just did some hot spots, so like Hoi An, Ninh Binh, which is like the inland Halong Bay,
Okay. Cool.
which is very cool, and then up to Hanoi and Halong Bay. But yeah, that was epic. So yeah, it's just nice that you can travel cheaply and see some really cool things as well.
So did you fly?
Yeah, you can fly. I mean, equally, there's like 4-hour bus journeys, like one way. You can go to Mune, or you can go to the Mekong Delta. So, like, if you've got like 2 days off teaching,
Sure.
you can fill your time productively and do some really cool stuff.